Hello and welcome back to the Ash Creation discussion round. It's just me and Stackerson today.
Hi.
Hi. So, Stackerson, you weren't here last week. Not last week, the week before last. You weren't here last podcast. So I'm gonna ask you what do you think about the live stream, the November live stream?
I didn't really catch it live. Been kind of watching it. It kind of just seemed like a good update, but like not a lot there to get excited about. Kind of like the direction of healer, that they don't have spam heals. Um, Besides that, I'm not sure what to say. There's an SC active block.
What did you say about the spam heals?
They don't have a spam heal. I like that. I like that it's gonna, or at least I prefer this. I mean, healers are usually a problem when they can just like freaking push out so much healing. Um, So the fact that like the main heal had a cooldown, at least made it seem like it'd be harder. Um, they're not going to be as immortal as they are in other tab games.
Yeah. Okay. I follow. There's something to be said about like the idea of like a delayed heal though. It was inside Alpha One
Like
as
what we
well.
used to have in Alpha 1 with the things you threw up in the air. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's basically it's essentially the same skill. You just throw it up in the air and then it comes back down. It's a little bit delayed on that. And then they added in the what's it called, benediction or whatever the fuck it is.
The things that you get for like using it offensively.
Yeah, and so like if you use it offensively, you build up stacks of it, and then you can heal more efficiently with those stacks.
Ah, okay. I didn't quite catch like what they did. I was just okay. That's cool. Um, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like also the I guess the class synergies. I Are they actually just like class synergies, or is it just like if you most skills will have like maybe like a stagger on them, and then or like ACC, and then if you put another of the same CC on, it's a stronger CC, like it becomes a hard CC.
So that's kind of I think they want to do more class synergies, but that's the example they gave in the live stream. It was like, hey, if my thing does if some skills synergize with each other, like if my skill does a stagger and your skill does a stagger, and we stack them on top of each other, then that stagger becomes a stun.
Yeah, I like that.
I imagine they'll probably expand on that and do more with it. But in terms of like oh, that is not the window I want to be showing right now. There we go. But yeah, it's I imagine they'll probably do more and more in terms of class synergies like that. Some other games have done it as well. It's shaping up to be more and more kind of like going in the direction of Guild Wars 2,
Mm-hmm.
which I think people have been like some people have been expecting for like 5 years now. They've been saying like, oh, this is gonna be like Guild Wars 2. I've even been in that crowd. Um, it's gonna make some people happy, some people not so happy. Some people though he like people that were wanting like just it to turn into straight action combat. I think they're gonna be less. It's not gonna be what they want, and so they're gonna be unhappy with it.
Mm. I don't know. We'll see how it feels when it comes out.
Yeah,
I mean, I
that's
care more about the pacing of it. So
we'll have to see for when Alpha 2 comes up. This upcoming December stream, I think they've already hinted on their Twitter and on Discord that they're gonna be doing a studio tour,
okay.
basically. And some people were happy with that, some people were unhappy with that. Like this last live stream left a lot of people less than less than stellar. Like it left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. Some people were looking at it in a positive light. Some people were spinning it negatively. Um, And then with the next one just not showing any kind of in-game content whatsoever, or potentially no Alpha 2 dates coming up, people are also like not angry, but like kind of just checking out. Like hey, I get me when something actually happens, kind of mentality.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been kind of busy, so haven't been really doing much um, activity in the community. So I get it.
Most of the content creators have been fairly positive about it, but like a lot of people in the community as a whole, I think has taken the live stream kind of negatively. For varying reasons. I have my own kind of like criticisms on the last live stream, but a lot of people I think are negative on it for the wrong reasons. I think people are negative on it because like they're just it's been a year since Alpha 1, so I think people are just like tired of waiting now.
Mhm.
They're hungry for Alpha 2. They want to play Alpha Astral Creation. They want to play experience a little bit more of Astral Creation. So there's that. There's that crowd. There's the crowd that I think they're still angry at like how tab target the game actually is, and the crowd that like was wanting it to be more action based.
Got it.
But yeah. Going into some of the newer news, I like we talked about live stream last time, so if you want to talk about it more, cool with talking about it since you weren't here last time. But in terms of new news, we have the December cosmetics that have come out,
Yep.
and there's a lot there that people aren't going to care about, but I think is actually like interesting that I probably could talk about a whole hell of a lot.
Okay.
So what do you want to do? You want to talk about live stream a little bit more since you weren't here, or you want to talk about you want to jump
We can go into
into?
cosmetics. I don't think I have much else to say about it. It was kind of just like, oh, cool.
Okay,
It's a thing.
all right. So first off, this pack is called the Winter's Nevermore. I don't know who's naming this shit over there. Last one we commented on the snake thing's name. The constricting coiler.
Yeah.
There's no like I don't know. I'm jumping extremely into Edgar Allan Poe's fucking Nevermore, and there's no Raven here. There's no like Snow Raven in this fucking pack or anything like that. Like there's nothing that
I mean, a
suggests
vulture's
like
kind of a raven.
no. And I'm gonna get to that fucking vulture. Don't you worry. I'm gonna fucking lay into that fucking vulture. All right, just going down the list of the thing, we have the accessory first. The Ice Heart course, or I guess we could read the fucking the lore for the entire pack first. The Tales of Winter Nevermore is a popular tale song of Snowstead. Okay, so it's referring to a song. See, I still think this is referencing like a Vera version of Edgar Allan Poe's Nevermore.
Probably. I don't think that's ridiculous.
All right, so like a picturesque village nestled in the frozen Northlands. A ballad relates to the legend of the winter dragon Freyja. Freyja. However you say that name. Known by many as the Ice Heart Dragon and reserved for the coldest winter nights. She slumbers in her lair atop the highest of the snowy crags of the mountains surrounding the village. Many brave adventurers have set out to scale the towering peaks, hoping to do battle with the wicked worm. The legend of Winter Nevermore claims that if the Ice Heart Dragon is defeated, it will lift the great curse and bring about the end of all winters, extending in the growing season, providing Snowstead with a bountiful and abundant harvest forevermore. I kind of like I'm like so like a lot of things like we've had this conversation on the podcast before, like a long time ago. So depending on the lore basis of the story, like the certain game or fantasy universe is going into, a worm can refer to either a subspecies of dragon or a dragon's age. A worm being like an older actually, I think a worm refers to like a younger dragon, actually. And then you have some elements of like the story between like Hades and Persephone here, with like longer lasting winters and spring and springtime type shit. There's a lot of references to a lot of stuff here, I feel.
I get that.
Going into the Ice Heart Corsage?
Corsage?
Corsage? The accessory for this set. The Trek of the Ice Heart Dragons. The Trek of the Ice Heart Dragons Roost is a journey of several weeks to the dwarven north dwarves for the dwarves of the Northland. For any other exalted race, it is longer still, and to the return journey is even more arduous. The Ice Heart Corsage, whatever the fuck that word is a finely wrought one-handed gauntlet of white dragon scale, sculpted in the visage of Phrasia, the Ice Heart Dragon herself. The glove blessed by the celestial dragon god, whatever the fuck that word is, Tazerm worm, Talazerm, whatever the fuck his name is, itself. It is thought to provide protection from all dragonkind and is therefore highly prized and sought after by any who would dare face the frozen dragon heart.
Well, that's cool. We got a celestial dragon god.
I was gonna fucking go into that. You hit the nail right on the head, which is like the juicy bit of here. Is like, what? So like, all right. So is this dragon god? Is the celestial dragon god one of the gods that we know of? Is he one of the 7? Is he one of the 10? Is he one of the 3 that abandoned Vera? And for the I went to war against the other ones. Is he one of the 7 that we know of, the good gods? Is he a different pantheon altogether? I've always thought of Norlin, the goddess of fate, patron deity of the dwarves, no, not the dwarves, of patron deity of the orcs, as the dragon god, because orcs have been hinted at having dragon-esque aspects. The Renkai orcs have been hinted at having dragon aspects to them. It's a celestial god, so you have Vec tie-ins there for like the celestial kind of things that they're all for. In Alpha 1, the Norland statue, the goddess of fate, her statue is a statue of a snake, and it's surrounded by a bunch of dragons with a bit of her lore there. There's a lot of lore that suggests that I always hinted at Norland being the dragon god, being not only the orc god, but also a dragon god.
You are better on the lore than me, because I don't remember Norland. As to you, I would assume it is not one of the 3. It is either one of the 7, or as you said, like another kind of like secondary pantheon of beings that are considered gods but aren't the ones that are like closest to the essence or whatever. Forgot what that place is called. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's like a title of I guess I want to say it's one of the 7, but
I want to say it's one of the 7 too, but that's something we would have to ask. Only Steven can confirm or deny, and I think I've already asked this, and no one's given like an answer. Have to ask it, and probably potentially a PI meeting. But if I ask that, there, it can't be on the podcast, unless
you can always ask if
it, yeah. the game, like Steven takes a lot of inspiration from Pathfinder and D&D, and how deities work in there is basically like if you like. I'm looking at this two different ways. It's either actually three ways. It's either part one of the seven, and it's as simple as that. He's like the dragon god, and like probably like the reptile races, um, patron deity as well. Uh, or and it's simple. It's that simple. We're looking at it in a D&D Pathfinder kind of aspect, where like just basically like there are a bunch of different gods, and they're worshipped in a whole. Depending on like
They're
which
interpreted in different ways, but like gods have different names, kind of situation.
yeah, kind of. I was more so going for like they could go that way. I don't want them to go that way. If this is just like say Norland, like I said, but in a different name and worshipped in a different way, I kind of don't want that. Uh, I was more so saying like it's a different kind of god from just like a different pantheon. And then you have like a Guild Wars 2 aspect where the human gods aren't native to the planet that Guild Wars 2 take place in. I'm drawing a blank on what the name of that planet is right now for whatever reason. But like they're not native to the planet. They're alien to it. They came here. They came to the planet with humanity. Humanity's like through the what are the fucking name of their version of like the void or where the fuck that in between dimension is. I'm also drawing a blank on that for whatever reason. But yeah, so like either like this is a separate pantheon to where like it's just a separate pantheon. So like you have your elder dragons and you have your human gods from Guild Wars 2 kind of thing.
How many of the 7 do we have named?
We have 3.
Okay, so this could.
Resna, Norlin, and I'm drawing a blank on the third one. Shoal? I want to say it's Shoal. I can't look right now because I have all my monitors fucking dedicated to stream shit. But yeah, so like it's potentially one of the 7 that we're getting hinted in this cosmetic lore. What do you think of the cosmetic itself?
I like it.
How
I
do
think
you?
it's funny it's being called a corsage, but yeah, it's cool.
It's a one-handed gauntlet. It's really badass. I love this thing. I have a lot of questions about the fact that it is a one-handed gauntlet.
Like how it interacts with like. Does this take up both hand slots, or can we put like the one-handed gauntlet on and then something else on the other arm?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. If I put this on, is my other hand bare? Like I could just doesn't have anything on it. Is it like is my base armor gonna be shown on the other arm? Because some games have it to where like if I have a one-handed gauntlet, my other hand's just a bare hand, and I don't like that. Can I mix and match this one-handed gauntlet with other one-handed gauntlets? Cosmetics. There's a lot of questions here for like just that aspect if you're into the cosmetic type shit. I think we're both on agreement though. This is really cool. You like lizards and dragons, and this is basically just like a dragon skull on a fucking fist.
Mm-hmm. No, it is my my style.
I also am a big fan of frost dragons versus other types of dragons, and I do like the idea of like this being like just a frost dragon made of frost dragon scales. It has the frost dragon head on it. I'd be interested to see if it has like that snowy effect around your fist because they said they want to keep effects to a minimum, but we have other ones that have effects to them as well.
Like I hope that's just like a
fluff for the concept art.
Yeah. That'd be annoying if there's an effect like that, just like going around it. At least in my. I mean, I guess it would have to depend how it looked, but I feel like it would kind of overwhelm the cosmetic, and I kind of like the details. I wouldn't want the details being covered up by this like silly snow effect.
It would also make it seem a little bit like extremely epic, like
a legendary item kind of situation.
kind of like yeah,
like a magic infused gauntlet,
yep.
not just like a purdy gauntlet.
It's not your pretty gauntlet. Then we got the pin feather aviator. In the crystalline, no, not crystalline. In the cerulean sky, high above the ice-capped mountains of the Northland, these ice downslope wind. Where the icy downslope winds are at their most treacherous is where the pin feather aviator makes its home. The appearance of these one-eyed scavengers of carrion are considered an ill omen for adventurers scaling the perilous Northland peaks. Most often, they appear suddenly, circling above potential prey like demonic vultures. The creature awaits a single misstep or accidental loss of balance that will spell the tragedy for the climber, but provide a feast for the aviator and its ravenous nestlings. The oily sheen of the aviator's plumage is presumed to be a residue from the glacial tar pools from these birds of prey bathe their feathers. While the glacier is in the north of the Northlands are home to these scavengers of the snow, these one-eyed vultures are often sighted in their native habitat by these less destined to become their next meal. It's a one-eyed vulture, and it's the eyes on the top of its head. I think this it's the pet cosmetic. I think it's dumb. I'm just gonna say that straight out. Like, I like the idea of a vulture. I like the idea of a vulture pet kind of thing. I just like everything about this one. Like, number one, I don't like one-eyed things. I think one-eyed things is an odd design choice, especially for a bird. It can't see jack. It's a one-eyed vulture in a snowy wasteland, a scavenger in a place where food is already scarce. I don't know. I just don't like. I don't mind vultures. I just don't like this vulture.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
Vultures aren't really my thing. I think it's just like it's okay though. Yeah, I think the eye is an interesting choice. I feel like it would have almost been more interesting if they went like a blind route, because like the snow is so thick or some crap. It uses some other sense to find its prey. Yeah.
They were suggesting like heat vision and stuff like that, but like it's a scavenger, so most of its prey is dead and gonna be cold anyway. In a frozen environment, I think a lot of like the animals can control their body heat kind of thing too.
Yeah.
Granted, again, that's all like real world aspects, and this is like I 100% agree with you. I would more prefer like no eyes versus one eye. Yeah, but I just don't like one-eyed. I'm not a big fan of like the one-eyed design choice here, especially since like the one eye is just like on its head.
Yeah, I get it. Shall we move on?
Yep. The Alpine Baghorn. The Alpine Baghorn is a domesticated creature specifically bred for to thrive in the frigid climate of the Northlands. wild baghorns can be found grazing in small herds on the tundra forest vegetation. Once domesticated, these beasts of burden are the perfect choice to carry the merchants' wares through the drifting snow. I'm salivating so much reading this shit. And perilous squalls that frequent the mountain. It said squalls, right? I'm reading that right.
There's a perilous. I have lost. These beasts of burden, perfect choice, merchant, where drifting snow, perilous squalls. Yeah.
Yeah, perilous squalls. That's just weird. I don't feel like whatever. Frequent the mountain passes. They're thick, animated. Wait, animated, and unusually long tails are highly prized by smugglers and any who seek to travel with discretion. For they naturally sweep the ground in their wake, wiping away their tracks and hiding any signs of their passage. Baghorns are well suited for caravans braving these bitter colds and stock the Northland warehouses with enough supplies for the local populace to survive the cold season due to their strong, reliable, and sure-footedness. The design screams Star Wars to me.
Yeah, it looks like a bantha.
Yeah.
Bantha with a long tail.
Yep,
Is that what they're called? Banthas are the. Yep. That's what I saw. Sorry, I was out. That's what I saw. I like it. No, it's cool.
I like it. It's neat. Like I said, it screams Star Wars to me.
Yeah, it's like a rhino bantha yak. I like the tail. I think the tail like complements it. It's like subtle, but complements it really well.
Apparently, the tail is its biggest fucking feature according to the fucking lore.
Yeah, and it's interesting that it says so. Its tail is highly prized. The fact that it said animated, I wonder if it naturally sweeps the ground. So it's like, does the tail, even if you like cut it off, like still do this natural sweeping thing? So you just like drag the tail behind you or something, and it's always sweeping away your footprints.
I could potentially see that. Maybe. I think it's more so like suggesting like that, the baghorn's like tail is just like, I imagine it's like a cat's tail. It's just constantly like moving around constantly, sweeping the ground. It's kind of like furry, and it just like covers the tracks the fucking animal. I'd be interested to see if that actually plays a role in any way, shape, or form. Because this animal is going to be in game. We've already established this. If you see an animal that's on the shop, chances are that not even chances, that animal is going to be used as an in-game asset. This will be a populated animal inside the winter tundra areas, the snowy areas. So if the actual animal, I say like tracks actually play a factor. If you're like, because when I'm walking in the snow, I like this like in a game. I actually like it when I see my tracks behind me. I'd be interested to see if, which they naturally disappear on their own. They're not going to stay there, obviously. But I think it's a cool little touch when I walk in the snow and I can see my tracks behind me for a little bit. I'd be interested to see if like the actual animal, you just like the tracks disappear instantly.
Like Arianism.
Yeah. And then if applied, does the cosmetic also? It doesn't fucking matter. I'm not gonna go down that train of thought. But yeah, it's a neat pack animal. Cosmetic skin. I wish it said like a pack animal on the fucking thing.
It's a big mount, isn't it?
What?
It's a big mount. So
It is a
it's
big mount.
pretty high up there. Have we seen? Oh, this will probably be on the Rhino's rig, wouldn't it?
I either that or maybe that giant iguana thing.
Oh, that'd be cool.
He's another large, like, I don't imagine to be the rhino's rig, like, skeleton. I imagine it probably, like, it's either its own unique skeleton that they would use for other pack animals, and other kind of pack animals like this, or, I don't know.
Yeah, like the yak. I mean, we have we have yaks or stuff.
I could totally see a yak skeleton being used for
Ox.
this. Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool. Shall we move on?
Winter scale jerkin. Jerkin. I don't think that's a jerkin. In midwinter, life in the village of Snowstead can be harsh and unforgiving. The frigid winter winds that are so cold as frozen iron seeps through the armor and the layers of clothing beneath, draining the soul with its icy touch. For heroes seeking to do combat with an unrelenting cold and great ice heart dragon. Wait. Seeking to do combat with the unrelenting cold and the ice heart dragon, there is no finer protection than that of a winter scale jerkin. The finely crafted form-fitting jerkin of white dragon scales is lined with lined and trimmed with the finest snow white fur, providing warmth, style, and protection from the elements, as well as protection from the bitter teeth of razor-sharp talons of the fearsome beast of legend. You never. So there's a lot of dragon scale shit here. Like you're gonna have to kill. So like the idea is that you're using dragon like stuff you've already hunted other Snow White dragon like frost dragons, and you're going to hunt I guess the queen of the frost dragons.
Basically.
I like the idea of like weather effects playing a factor in games. Some people don't like that. I like the idea of having to wear like I have my normal set like when I'm going to the normal the non-weathery places. I have my warm weather set when I'm going to the desert areas or the volcanic areas, and then I have my cold weather sets then when I'm going to the icy places. And I think it diversifies armor. So I'm not like I have my set and I'm good and go. I'm good. I'm never gonna. I need another set again, kind of
There's
thing.
no just like this kind of situation.
Yeah. Well, it lessens the BIS kind of situation where you're gonna have more than one type of BIS for different areas and different kinds of like environments. Some people don't like that. Some people don't want that kind of thing. They see it as like a survival aspect, or they just want to farm up their one set and be done with it, kind of thing. How do you feel about that?
What you just said, the whole having different sets for different situations.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I think you kind of want to make it so it's only for like these extreme situations. So like to farm the other things in this region, you don't necessarily need the set, but like if you want to go after the big super worm, you want to get this set made. So I kind of like that, where there's still stuff you can do in this region without this, but like if you really want to do the most challenging content in the region, it requires it.
Yeah.
So
I like my main thing about this is like I like the idea. Like I play a lot of like Monster Hunter, and shit like that, and I like the Witcher kind of concept where like you have to prepare for a fight. Like you have all like monsters have different kinds of weaknesses. And so you're having to like you're doing a little bit of research. You're looking at your bestiary, seeing like what monsters weak against what, and you're preparing for a fight kind of thing. Same thing with like Monster Hunter. You're preparing for a fight when you go into a fight.
Yeah.
I like that better. How do you feel about the Winter Scale Jerkin as a whole?
I mean, I like it. It's one of those. I guess the colors aren't doing it for me, but I think I like the overall design. It's one of those sets that doesn't really do much for the silhouette. So like, I don't know how I'll feel about it in game, but it looks cool.
It looks fairly standard to me, like normal like scale mail kind of thing. Um, it has this same kind of frost effect, like on the concept art that the other like the Gauntlet had. I'm interested to see like if it's in its final version, it has this frost effect. I'd be actually kind of disappointed if it did because of the fact that like they said they want to keep effects to a minimum.
Yeah.
Um,
I just think effects get a little too noisy, so I'd prefer to just not have 'em.
well, in some games people love effects, like in Guild Wars 2, it's
I
all
mean,
about the effects.
there's you could have some effects. I don't
Yeah.
like things that make sense, but
Plus, you're wearing like frost dragon scale, so it makes sense that they would have a snow effect. Like, if you want dragons to be like your big bad, like this big epic thing, you kind of want to be like, but you don't want that in like store bought cosmetic either.
you can also communicate that the frostiness or whatever the scales without necessarily having like the fog effect on it, though. You could have like frost or something against the scales, or I don't know. I feel
You
like
could.
there's alternatives besides having like. I guess my big thing with like effects like this is it like covers up the details, and it kind of just. And then there's the movement, so it's just kind of like.
I agree with you on that. I'd be interested to see if like the blue makeup that's on the face, because like we saw that one like dark druid set like a while back, and it turns out the makeup was part of that cosmetic. I'd be interested to see if the blue kind of like makeup here is part of the cosmetic as well.
That'd be cool.
I would I it'd be fine. I'd be fine with it. I want to know if that's the case though, kind of. And I'm like personally, I'd be hiding the helmet on that because I'm not a big fan of like the blue makeup here. But yeah, I want to know that going into the purchase. And not me personally. I just want that to be stated before the purchase though. Like what all is actually part of the fucking cosmetic and what's just what is flavor for the concept art.
I get it.
Dragonborn's Maid. Dragonborn's Maid. The ship cosmetic. Dragonborn Maid is an icebreaker, a special purpose ship designed to move and navigate through ice covered waters. Icebreakers have three trails. Three trails that most normal ships lack. The strengthened hull, the ice clearing shape, and the power to push through sheer sea ice. The Maid's frontline hull can clear the path through the frozen waters by pushing straight into the pack ice. In case of thick ice, the vessel can drive its bow. You
said it right.
Bow up and into the ice to break it under the weight of the ship. It is for the ship's curved wooden forehead, stylized in the visage of the fiercely charging dragon. Visage of a fiercely charging dragon that has led
armed flotillas.
Yeah, armed flotillas to countless battles of the. I'm so fucking. My mouth is just full of saliva. Churning white caps and distant seas through although it is although in the frigid waters of the north, it must brave treacherous ice flows, face black-hearted ocean murderers, and do battle with tentacled monstrosities of the deep at every turn. I think this is one of the cooler ships we've gotten in a long time. I'm definitely going to be using this, I think. Some of the ships, number one, one of my problems, another problem that I want to point out that I've had with the cash shop, the cosmetic cash shop for a while now. This does not state what level of vessel this goes on. I'm imagining it goes on a galleon, just because. But there are some there are some skins, like that one 4th of July skin that had the covered top on it. I'm interested to know if some of these skins only go on very specific vessels. Like if this skin only goes on icebreaker ships.
I doubt it.
And then
because I don't think we actually have like a class of ship called like an icebreaker. I assume that I mean maybe I'm wrong, but you're not going to be using a ship to go through ice, I assume. But maybe I'm wrong.
And you have to have a specialized ship to go through ice inside, like Lost Ark. Lost Ark.
Yeah.
So maybe they're taking inspiration from that on that a little bit. I'm not 100% sure on that. You're potentially right, but like even if this one doesn't go on specifically an icebreaker ship, there's other skins that I'm curious to see if they go on very specific ships. And if that is the case, then I know it's another aspect I wish they would put in the descriptor of this thing, like saying like, hey, this goes on this classification of ship. If it's a large, medium, or small ship, if it's a galleon, a frigate, or whatever the fuck have you, a dinghy, and if it goes on icebreaker or whatever the fuck other classifications of ship there are.
I imagine some of it though is more the equipment you put on a ship, so they're might not be an icebreaker ship, but you might like want to put on an icebreaker figurehead on a ship. I could see them doing it that way.
I could see that too.
I mean it's probably one of the things where they haven't really dived into the design of that stuff yet, so it's hard for them to say like what they want to do yet.
I have problems.
Commit to those.
I have problems with that as well, but that's a conversation for another fucking time. That's a gigantic kind of rant for something else.
Yeah.
All right, another tower, the Grim Rising. Cyan tendrils. All right, that's tendrils.
Cyan tendrils. Sorry.
Yeah.
Tendrils.
Cyan tendrils of Garthbane. A frosty lichen, native to the northern tundra, clinched to the ancient stone bricks of the Grim Rising. The tower is a vestigial. Yep. Built. It is a vestigial built in an age past in a far-reaching and in the far reaches of the Northland. The ancient spire once contained prisoners of House Lirin, the fallen ruler of the ancient Aelan Empire. Lirin's enemies were banished to the frozen Northland and imprisoned in the nearly inescapable tower. Some captives died under the lash of some, and some became sustenance of the Ice Heart Dragon, and they were the
fortunate ones.
The fortunate ones, as the vast majority starved or froze to death in the tower's barren under heart cells. To this day, it is said that the prison's stronghold remains haunted by their restless, tortured spirits. Perhaps one day, Grim Rising might be reopened. Will it be given a new and peaceful purpose, or will it tormented spirits within demand additional lost souls to be bolster their Colorant and of Damnation. Quartet of Damnation. I think that's really cool lore for a dungeon that I would expect to see inside the North. I don't expect this on. I don't think this degree of lore on a freehold skin. It's another tower. We have a bunch of towers. I'm interested to see how, like, it's a large structure. You can see the small little door there. It's a large structure. All the towers have been very large structures. I'm interested to see what this actually looks like in game on your freehold kind of thing. We've already been told that like these like freehold skins don't change your freehold. So like if you put this in a grasslands area, it's going to be grasslands surrounding this white tower. It's also really unique lore for an item that you're going to see multiple of.
Yeah. It's cool. I probably want to get it. It kind of a Sauron tower looking thing.
It's a Sauron tower kind of thing. I'm getting a lot of Legends of Driz vibes from it. If you're not aware of what that is, it's like a series of books on a D&D books stories. But that's the last of the cosmetics. We've gone through all of them. What do you think of the set as a whole?
I think it's a good set. There's stuff in here I want.
A bunch of lore stuff that's really interesting. There's about 3 items in this whole set that I really like and I think I would end up using. Other things, I think I have other shit in my library of cosmetics that I have that I would probably use over them.
Yeah, I think the only thing that isn't really my thing is the bird. Besides that, I think I like everything.
I definitely use the ship. There's other ships I also have that were up for debate on like what I would use over this, depending on the classification of the ship. The gauntlet, super cool. Would like to know if I can pair it with other shit. And then the tower, I have other towers, and I think I like other towers that we've had so far, but I'm definitely gonna get the tower and potentially use it, maybe.
I mean, you never know. You might just switch it out.
Yeah.
Maybe be festive during Christmas and bring out your icy tower.
Yeah, that's fair. A lot of questions related to the cosmetic shop as a whole. That I've been complaining, I've been talking about for years now. That I would like to this set. Every time they come out with a new set, I always bring up the same shit. But yeah. So like I said, lots of lore here, lots of interesting lore here. We get some hints at some stuff. They always add in lore stuff. This is the first time we've read it on stream. Might do it again for future ones. They have, for anybody not aware, tomorrow on the 19th, and then the next day, so Monday and Tuesday on the 19th and 20th, Ashes of Creation is going to have their they're going to do their office. They're doing like a special little holiday office hours thing. You're going to have different kinds of events going on, like trivia games. There's a very specific one. It's the one you're doing on the phone kind of thing, but it's Ashes of Creation themed. I forget what it's called. And then like some arts and crafts stuff. So that stuff's going to be going on. Then this week you also had the live stream, which is going to be a office tour, which will be interesting. We're not going to have another live stream till the 1st. So we won't be taught because, like, I don't want to do one on. Here's a question, Stackerson, and I asked Faisal this too. The last live stream. How would you feel about going into 2023 doing the podcast, the extraction discussion round, and moving it to like a weekly thing instead of a bi-weekly thing?
I'm down for a weekly.
Okay. We'd be doing probably like more community related questions and more theory crafty topics rather than just covering the extraction news that goes on. And then also doing our normal Ash Secretion news type shit.
I don't have a printer.
You don't have a printer? But yeah, so yeah, we won't be doing that starting now. We'll be doing that coming 2023 because number one, next week, this week is the week of Christmas. The next weekend, Saturday's Christmas. The Sunday's the day after Christmas. So there's no point in us doing that. It'd be like an awful thing to fucking try to schedule. So the very first day of 2023, we'll be coming back. We'll be talking about the live stream, and that'll be a great start for the new year and moving into doing the podcast weekly. Unless we have another topic or you want to talk about something else, we'll probably be ending the live stream like 8 minutes early.
Yeah, not much to talk about right now. Hopefully things will speed up, but we'll see what happens.
Going into 2023, what would you actually? Here's a topic. What would you like? It's just gonna be a studio tour, basically. What would you want to see? What additional kind of like little things would you want to see from the live stream?
Tolnar.
We've gotten that before. One studio tour, they did show off the Tolnar kind of like shadows, and that's how we got.
When they were first doing it a long time ago.
Yeah, when they were first doing it a long time ago, back in the old studio. It'll be a first look at the new studio. I imagine people will be doing like Christmas get-ups going on. They said the devs might talk about some of the stuff they're working on. So it'll be interesting. I'm not expecting to see any kind of naval stuff. I'm not expecting to see any kind of Alpha 2 date.
I'm not expecting it.
Maybe show off. Because last December, I think they announced like hey, we're moving to Unreal 5 announcement, right? That was last December. Yeah, and then this last live stream, I believe they announced that they were moving to 5.1. I would be interested to see some of the upgrades for that's going on for 5.1. That helps with like foliage and reflection and some type stuff. Just some little things about like how the move's going with that. Maybe some upgrades for that. Other than that, I can't think of like realistically what kind of development stuff I would expect to see from the live stream.
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been that long, I feel, since the live stream, so I feel like we're not getting that much.
Well, we're definitely not getting game.
Has it been?
It's been like 2-3 weeks. It hasn't been a full month because they delayed it.
It's been a goofy month for me.
It hasn't been a full month because they delayed it into December. And so
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they did on the 2nd, was it?
I believe so. I'm not 100% on that one. I believe it was the 2nd.
Is this live stream this week or next week?
It's this week. It's on the 20
less than 2
weeks.
22nd. Don't think they're gonna give us that much. You're nice that they gave us Tolnar. Stop holding them back.
What would you want to see? Like, if they gave us Tolnar, what would you want to see about? Like just like 3D models of Tolnar, or would you want to see them in the creation engine?
I'd be happy with just full 3D models, or I would be happy with full like concept art.
A full concept art, not just the head.
Yes, full body concept art. Yeah.
If we get full body concept art, I want a male and a female version, not just a male version.
Yeah. I mean, I would want them to like mix it up, have a variety, and also like give some show off some like ideas they have for like what certain combinations would end up coming out as.
If we got concept art, I totally want to see that. Yeah. Full 3D models, I don't think we would probably get. I think if we got 3D models, we'd be showing off one version of 3D models and then showing off different combinations in concept art form.
How long has it been since we got the? That was like in August, or was that July that we got the um, concept art before? Because I feel like they're holding it back because they want to do like a marketing push with it, which makes me a little sad.
We've seen a lot this year, and I would love to do like a like talking about everything that we saw in 2022, 2020, yeah, 2022 kind of like discussion, because like we've seen a lot this year, and I think people don't. I think this last live stream left a lot of people in like a bad taste that like they forget about everything we've seen this year and all the good we've seen this year. But like thinking about it, like if you think about it, like by the development updates that we've seen this year feels like it flew by so fast.
I agree. Yeah. Freaking time flies when you're having fun, right?
Time flies when you're waiting on a game.
Sometimes not fast enough.
All right. Well, yeah, all right, fair. Like, time flies when you're waiting on a game, but you're never getting that game. I mean, you're not getting that game still. Like you want it to come. People are tired of waiting and stuff like that. All right, we're done rambling. We're gonna call it here. Just like 3 minutes early, comparatively to we normally go for like a full hour, but what is? We're out of topics right now. Not any kind of topic we would want to bring up again. But all right. Bye, everybody. See you in the new year. Have a happy Christmas and a merry New Year's. And on any other kind of holiday. I think we've missed Hanukkah. I think we're past the days of Hanukkah. So whatever. Happy holidays. See you in 2023. Bye.
Peace.